Yeah, let's go ahead and give you some lane assignments here. In lane 1, Jacksonville. Lane 2, Drexel. Lane 3, Stetson. Lane 4, Oklahoma City. Lane 5, Drexel B. And lane 6, LaSalle. And these men's pairs, I'm actually very excited to see. I love the pairs race. Not only is it a blind boat, but it's a very, very difficult one. And I said yesterday that I will die on this hill. I think the bow seat of a pair is the most difficult seat to row of any boat class.
Explain why that is.
Well, I think in a pair here, you have to match up so well with your pair partner. Not only are you you're trying to match up with somebody who is steering, but you're focused on so many different things at the same time. But when you're in a pair, the power curve matters so much. And a lot of times the bow seat has a lot of power in the steering, not with the toe, but just in power. So if your power curves are not matched up perfectly on either side, then you have a really difficult time going straight. And so that bow seat really has to match up with the power curve of that stroke seat. And what I mean by power curve is applying pressure underneath the water at the same points of the stroke. So whether that's at the catch or the finish, each crew can decide where they emphasize their power, but you want those to be perfectly matched up all the way through. And that's very, very difficult for a good bow seat to do and keep that boat going straight.
Yeah, I mean, power curve in general is such an interesting topic to broach because it is something that I think every crew looks at, no matter if it's just the pair. But you're right, here it is so, the margins between the steering of the boat are so slim that it becomes exponentially more important than it would as you get the boats, larger and larger, and those discrepancies start to, disappear a little bit, and you can engineer a boat around different rowers and their strength.
There's more variables. You can hide a little bit better in an 8 than a pair. You can't hide anything in a pair.
No.
And that's what we are seeing out here today. We are looking at the Stetson crew in this pair looking really, really good. They are making this look easy, and we know that it is anything but, as we have just discussed, especially in conditions like this. So it looked like we had Stetson out there in the lead, and then followed by LaSalle in lane 6. And then we had Oklahoma City and Drexel B sandwiched in between. And off of our screen, just for the moment at least, is Jacksonville and Drexel A in lane 2. So hopefully we will have eyes on them shortly.
Yeah, a bit of a surprise here right now. Not necessarily that Stetson is in the lead, but that they are in the lead by so much. They only won the time trial by about 4 seconds, and then they put up a very similar time in their semifinal to the boat from Oklahoma City as well. And in fact, Oklahoma City had a faster time by 8 seconds in their semifinal. So it just goes to show you how those races can only tell part of the story a lot of the times here. And look at this, Stetson now with a chance to line up against the other fastest boats in this race, and they are leaving very little to the imagination here. With 1,000 meters left to go, they are well out in front of this one, looking to win the Bob Nygaard Cup.
Oh, yeah. And again, this is so impressive here. The Stetson crew has been absolutely plagued with injury and illness all year, and this pair has actually not raced this spring. So to come out here and do this and just command the lead, and after so many injuries and illnesses that the team has been dealing with, and to steer perfectly straight like this, they're doing a phenomenal job and just taking an absolutely commanding lead. I mean, this is nothing to scoff at.
It's crazy because, generally you think of pairs, you think of long hours learning each other and getting used to the other person there. It takes time to build those partnerships. So just, a really impressive row here so far from the Hatters.
Yeah, exactly. And last year, Chris Furton stroked the pair to a silver medal. So they have rowed pairs before, but it sounds like not together. So the bow seat looks like was in a car accident in March and again is recovering. So, I mean, just unbelievable things to overcome. And that is the Cinderella story that we all love to hear. So hats off again to Stetson, no pun intended, doing very, very well up at the front. So well done. And then we will look back again, if my eyes do not deceive me, again at Oklahoma City, Drexel B, LaSalle, and then in the foreground here in lane 2, we're looking at Drexel A.
Yeah, I think when we saw them at the 1,000 meter mark, it actually looked like Drexel A and Oklahoma City were neck and neck for that silver spot there.
Fantastic.
And you can see it here.
That's right. When we can see our margins a little bit better, we'll give you some more accurate margins there. So
You can see
Thank you.
that race out in lane 5 and lane 6 there between LaSalle and the Drexel B boat is raging as well. I think the advantage here is probably going to be to Oklahoma City for second place. Again, they were the winner of their semifinal. They actually did not race against that Drexel boat. Drexel was in the race against Stetson. So interesting to see Oklahoma City and Drexel go up against each other. In fact, as I look at it, that was the Drexel B boat against Stetson. So it was Drexel A against Oklahoma City. And Oklahoma City did beat them by about 20 seconds. So interesting to see here if Drexel can make up some of that margin with their A boat there in lane 2. And then Jacksonville, Drexel B, and LaSalle competing for what looks like 4th place at the moment.
Did we mention, too, that this Oklahoma City pair are both freshmen?
I'm not sure if you have yet.
Winning by 20 seconds is another very, very impressive feat here in a pair. So 2 freshmen rowing a pair like this is incredibly impressive. And if you're telling me 20 seconds, then this is even more impressive of a crew than we expected. So we're seeing some great athletes out here, clearly overcoming a great many things. And this is why we love to hear the stories of the athletes that actually make up these crews, because you hear something like this and their feats become all the more impressive.
250 meters left to go now for our leaders from Stetson as the remainder join them. And I think you could see there from that angle, it looked like that Oklahoma City boat was reaching the buoy lines just a little bit faster than the boat from Drexel in lane 2. So we'll see here. We're going to follow along with our leaders and then sit at the finish line for just a few strokes as we wait for the rest of the boats to get there. But it is the Bob Nygaard Cup, barring any dramatic finishes here. Stetson just taking it up for the last 5 strokes there.
Yeah, absolutely. Here they are at a 36. Just to top it off with a little exclamation point here and execute a phenomenal sprint.
Yeah, great race from them. Muted reaction. Business as usual.
That's right. Just out for a Saturday row.
Yeah. And we'll look to see, and it is Oklahoma City here.
The
and
2
look how
freshmen
close behind them
from
for these 2
Oklahoma.
Drexel boats. But yeah, Oklahoma City takes second there, and then you can see the pairs from Drexel having some fun with each other at the end of that one.
Of course.
And another close race here as they come in. It looks like that boat in lane 1, Jacksonville there, was able to edge out the LaSalle boat. Again, for official results, go to dadvale.com.